Alright, once you have set a lot of memory for your server resources for your website, even from the wp-config.php file and even from the php.ini file, and still your issue is not working and your website is not performing. First of all, we have to make sure our error is coming from a internal server error, like from some PHP script, or coming from a memory exhausted error. All right. So based on that, we have to proceed accordingly. All right. Now let's jump into the fix. How to check from where our error is coming? Exactly, we have to go to our wp-config file. In my case, I am on my local host and I have already opened my wp-config file. It is residing on the root of your installation, and then we have to set this particular constant to true, which is define wp underscore debug true. If it is not already available, you can create it like this. All right. Once done, save your script or save your file and then go back, check your website again. All right. So we can see the error now. Obviously, it is a fatal error and it shows like it is coming due to memory. All right. So I am sure my memory is already set to a huge number, which I can show you in my php.ini settings. All right, it is around half of a GB, as this website is not that much of a load heavy or plugin heavy. So how to fix in that case? First of all, in this case, we have to first check from where that memory leak is coming. All right, in my case, it is coming from WP content, plugins, and classic forms. All right, we can also use query monitor WordPress plugin to exactly check it from where, like which script or which part or which page is leaking more memory, or like if we are facing this issue on this particular page, or we are facing this issue on some of the inner or some other page. All right, so now we have pinpointed that this is the plugin which is causing issue. And now, as we are not able to log into website, so we can simply go back to our installation, and inside our plugins folder, which is residing under wp-content, so I can simply rename this plugin folder like this. All right, now if I go back again to make sure and to be certain if indeed this was the issue. So now, okay, now our site is back and it is working. So what we have done? We have simply renamed the file or renamed the folder. What it does, it simply disables this particular plugin, because WordPress stores the name of the active plugins inside our options table, and now that name is not available because we have renamed it to something else. This plugin got disabled, and this was the root cause of our memory leak. That's why our site is back. Now once our site is back, the next step is to make sure why that leak was coming, and why that plugin or particular file was using a lot of memory. For that, you can debug that in more details. You can check that particular code, and you can go towards the lines of the code which are memory heavy. All right, so we will not be going into these things because these depends on the situation or on your installation or whatever your website structure is. All right, but for your, I can give you a hint. For your understanding, you can go to that particular file and fix that issue at your own, or if that is a premium plugin or plugin coming from some other like WordPress repository, you can generate a support ticket and ask them like your plugin is performing badly and they need to fix it. All right, these are the techniques we follow usually or most of the time to fix our errors. All right, but in the next video I will be showing you how to fix our memory issue by increasing our script execution time, because it is not always we can simply go to increase memory, because certain plugins or certain themes or certain websites are code heavy, which requires a lot of execution time. And once our execution time is set to a lower number, it can also lead to a memory exhausted error. All right, for that, stick to the video and don't hesitate to subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.